asked her to just have grades done by Thursday and not to worry about my being able to bring them here today because I kept them over the weekend. So my goal there, obviously, was so you can make a drop decision. If you think you need to drop the class, have 2 out of 3 grades for which to make that decision. I'll tell you what I tell everybody when they ask me about drop decisions. If you've been struggling really hard and you think, well, but if I do really good on the 3rd test, your grades generally don't fluctuate much unless you can figure out what's preventing you from getting good grades and then actively changing the thing that's preventing you from getting good grades. Right? For most of us, like myself, it's not putting much effort into it. It's always my problem with grades. Maybe it's somebody died or something, and you can go like, yeah, well, that'll be better or it won't by the time of the next test. But what I'm telling you is it's just the desire to get a better grade. It usually doesn't translate into anything except broken desires. So here's what we look like right now. I'm going to teach you SQL for the rest of the semester. Because of our format, I'm not going to give you a comprehensive final exam. So exam 3 is solely SQL. It's going to be all about making tables, maybe populating tables. So that'll be a small amount of it. All the rest will be SQL. And then I'll probably throw in an ERD just because I love you so much. And I love my ERDs. A really big ERD. Like Trolltropia, at least big. That's probably what I'll do. So what's going to happen tonight is I'm going to introduce the idea of doing queries. Because if you know how to do queries, you're just going to have to try not to chew your leg off here. And then you're going to go do basic, super simple queries for me this week. The next week, it doesn't really look like the syllabus, not really. The next week on November 15th, I want to show you how to do the rest of the stuff, which includes joining tables and subqueries and a pretty hefty homework that you're then going to have done for me by the 29th when we rejoin after Thanksgiving. All of us have downstairs here. Sorry. You good? All right. Then what we'll do on the 29th is remind ourselves why we're here, what we were doing. And we'll go over that homework extensively, and I'll answer a lot of questions. I'm going to swap my normal order of homework. We'll do a more complicated thing on the 29th, so we can review that on the 6th. I'll give you a homework on the 6th. But it's just a few problems. It's like 7 problems. And what I'll do is put the answers to that just a couple days afterwards, just to give you one more round of doing some queries before the test. We'll have an actual real final in here on the 13th in this room from 6 to 8. From 6 to 8 on the 13th, which is, what the heck is that? Probably like a Friday or something. Wednesday. Woo! Okay. So life is fairly normal. Any questions about what we're doing and how that all works out? No? Okay. Kind of cementing that in my head as well. And how many of you know SQL? I know you do. 2, 3. All right, y'all are just going to have to be patient. Today is basic, like really basic. Let's talk about what you did, though. You made a script. You made a script to populate, or to create some tables and populate it. I think it was this script, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so it's a self-checking process. When you went to make your tables, it either worked or it didn't. When you went to put data in it, it either worked or it didn't. So your completed script either worked or it didn't. And when you ran your script first time, you should have got all these errors because you can't drop tables that don't exist. Right-clicking on tables in your database would show you that they were made. And of course, if you ran it again, you would get no errors because it would have tables to drop, and then recreate. So what you made was a script. This is just a buffer window to which you put commands in and then execute those commands. Your script is just saving a buffer window. That's really a good way to think about it. If you didn't do this, that's a bad thing, because this really helps you understand not only how to do that, but how things are glued together. Okay? If you haven't done it, I would suggest that you do it, but not at the expense of learning your queries. Now, on the Stillwater side, I'm reaching a little bit of ends of my unlimited patience. The students aren't listening to how to do this, so pay attention. What I'm doing now is giving you scripts for homework. I want to give you this script. Now, this script, I hate Notepad so much. Why can't we put Notepad? Oh, really? All right, I'm going to show you here. This script ends with .sql, but it's just a text file. Okay? .sql, this means that if you run it on a machine that has SQL Server on it, it will scoop it up and put it in this interface. Okay? But there's two ways for you to run my scripts. Either put it on your student drive, which you get in the virtual machines, and then go File, Open, File, find it, and pop it in. Or you could pull this up in Notepad++, get all of it, Control-C copy, and then paste it into a new query window. It doesn't really matter. All this is a set of instructions you're trying to get in here to execute. This is my database, not your database. So put your database in there, or things aren't going to work. Now, you just did, you should have just did this script. You just made the script. So in a lot of your databases, these tables should still be in here. Okay? Let me show you something here. Okay, let's see what I've done here. Okay. So your table should probably look like this, because you made your script and the last thing you did was run your script. Before you run my script, you need to pull up your script and run this much of it to drop all those tables. Come over here, refresh. You should have no tables in here. I have this one because I still don't want to get rid of it. You should have no tables in here. This is super important. If you don't get rid of those tables, and then you run my script, you're going to have problems, because you see my script says drop table shipment. Well, there's your shipment over here. Drop table cusp is, there's not one of those. Really? Did I just do that? I did. And it's going to have a customer that's over here. So it'll drop a couple of these. You won't be able to drop a bunch of them. It'll put new ones in. But then when you go, oh my God, it's not working, and you run this script again, it's not going to be able to drop the tables because the parent-child relationships have changed. So always drop all your tables before you run a new script. Okay? Do that, and you will save both of us a lot of emails about why aren't things working for me. You're going to use this script, HW1011, for this week's homework and next week's homework. Then the next set will use QH3, and the next set will use QH4. I think I have all these out there for you already, but if not, just let me know, and I'll get my app together. I'll definitely get you all set up for your homework here soon. Okay, so get rid of all the old tables by running just the dot statements of your last script. And then run my script, and things will work fine. So I'm going to run my script, and voila, my tables are there. Everybody getting that? Okay, so what you're not doing anymore is making tables. What you're not doing anymore is populating tables. I'm giving you all that information. This concept seems to be a bit of a struggle right now in Stillwater. I'm a beats to people, is what we're saying. Okay. The last script I give you is really nice. Look at all this data I genned up for you. This last script, QH4, it's going to be the script you want to use for practicing for the test, because you can ask yourself almost anything on the third homework that I give you, the International School of Business, ERD, which you already have anyway from a previous thing. You can ask yourself any question on there and probably get an answer to come up with a query. Okay, but we're going to talk about, let's learn stuff. I shouldn't have done that. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, all my tables. Because I'm going to use a different script to show you examples today. I'll use categories, inventory, orders, categories, colors. Not colors. You know what I hate this one. That's okay. Well, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one to show you guys examples and stuff. So. Yep.
From the email I sent you about the different table names, or the order line and shipment line, in one place they were just all one word, and the other place they had the underscore.
Oh yeah, no one else caught that, so I assume everyone else heard it.
I did underscore, and so
as long as you're consistent, yeah, that's my bad.
Okay, I didn't know if y'all were going to script against it, if that was how you were going to grade.
Right, no, this is what I'm telling you.
Do I need to change
The things that you made, as beautiful as they are, we're not going to use those for queries because of that very problem right there, error propagation.
Right.
So it doesn't matter how bad your cookies were, you're going to eat my cookies.
No, I just didn't know, like when you graded, if you like had a script that, run against this and so.
Okay, I'm just going to look and see that you alpha some script. I literally don't care.
Okay.
And you can check it yourself because QH3 is your homework. And you can look at it and be like, oh, that's how I should have done it. But literally, it either worked or it didn't. And if it didn't work, you should bang at it until it works. Because welcome to IT, right? That's pretty much it. Okay, so let me teach you basic words. Now remember, we're not doing anything different. We really aren't. We put all these tables together in such a lovely fashion where the primary key equals the foreign key. Now we're just going to use that knowledge to get queries. So first, a couple of things to teach you. We're not going to do anything with indexes because we just don't have those kind of cycles to really play with indexes and big data sets. But an index is just, like alphabetizing. It just enables something to be looked up faster. So in databases, the primary key is always going to be indexed automatically because it's assumed you're looking things up by the primary key. In SQL Server, the primary key is even indexed physically on just that primary key is indexed physically on the drive. And we can index on anything that we want, right? The trade-off with indexing is, just like on your Windows machine, the more you index, the longer it takes to index things, right? Let's look at two extreme scenarios. on one hand, I have data that never changes. Have I told you guys this? I haven't told you this, right? Okay. Let's say on one hand I have data that never changes, the fall catalog. I'm going to index every single column. And I'm going to index every pair of columns. And I'm going to index every sets of 3. I'm going to index it every way possible, because I only have to index everything one time. I only have to actually do indexing one time. On the other extreme, I have data that changes every minute. Man, I don't want to index anything if I could, but I'll probably have to index the primary key. Why? Because at some point, at 2 in the morning, I'm going to have to re-index all that new data, and that takes a lot of time. And I only have a short window to get all of my admin tasks done, right? So I can't afford to index a lot. And somewhere in the middle of that is the real world, where you want to index things to make them go faster, but you don't want to over-index, because then at some point you're going to have to pay the devil is due and get all that indexing done. It's like when Windows all of a sudden lags out heavily. You're like, wait, what? It says, oh, I'm indexing your files. And you're like, I never asked you to do that. Quit, stop. You Google how to stop that, and you make it go away, and then it comes back a week later because you have Windows 10. Small rant, okay. All right? So the way we do indexes is really easy. We just literally say create index, give it a name, and then specify the table and one or more columns. If you make an application and the database size seems to be really stupidly slow, when you let people buy tennis shoes on Zappos or whatever, it's very likely that you haven't indexed enough things. So indexing is a great thing to know. We just aren't going to have the data sets big enough to actually experience that need, and that's fine. You won't, unless you're going out playing DBA, you're not really going to be feeling the indexing, and if you're making apps, you're not really going to be feeling the indexing thing. You're not going to be dealing with that much data. Okay, all SQL queries take the form of select from where. But I'm going to teach you a new, different way to look at the world, even you guys. Okay? I want you to always think from where select. Do you know this?
Because the order it compiles and then it reads the order.
Yep. Because that's what your machine is doing. It's going from where select. But there's advantages to you learning this way too. From what table am I getting the data? And it gets all the data in the table. Where some column equals some value. Where dog equals German Shepherd. It will get rid of all the rows that don't match that value. So where has the effect of selecting certain rows. You get the whole table, you get rid of a bunch of rows, and therefore you only have a certain set of rows left. Select is like, just says, hey, what columns do you, the end user or the application, want to see? And if you write your queries in this way, you will never get really, really lost. You really won't. From, we're just going to decide where our data is coming from, where, what rows do we want, select, what is it we're trying to see or push out to a GUI or push out to an app. Always write it this way. It's always in 3 different lines. If I catch you writing it in 1 line, I'm going to beat you. Okay? Because it's horrible. We don't do that to people. We don't do that to our fellow humans. Okay? We all expect to see select from where and other stuff. From, where, select. Absolutely, you'll see me write some queries this way, but really simple stuff. Real world, boss comes by and wants an ad hoc query, a right now answer. How many left-handed Bibelfetzers did we sell in the Southwest region in the last 5 years? I'm literally going to look at my ERD that I have on the wall, figure out what tables I need to get that information, figure out what rows I want, and figure out what the heck I need to display. From, where, select is how I want you to think about it. And we'll see moot for this first set of problems, in which case we're only pulling from 1 table, but I'm going to break it out real fast. Okay, where? Where can be any kind of mathematical thing. Where student ID equals blah, where some value is greater than, less than or equal to. where something is like something, I'll talk about that in a second, where something is between some values, in a set of values, or not in a set of values. Okay? I'm going to show you examples. So this is the part where I just throw stuff at you. Okay, I can say where name equals Sarah, and anything that's text goes in single quotes. Where age greater than 18, where senior class or student class is not equal, or bang, equal for not equal, to senior. Everything in single quotes is case sensitive. If I want to get every column, I'm going to say select star, not select all, not get all, not whatever language that you learn that you love in life. No, it doesn't work like that. Select star from table. Gives you all the columns. If I leave out the where statement, I get all the rows. Right? This where selects out some rows. Let's say that my boss, Rick Wilson, said, hey Jim, how many students do we have in the MIS program? And what I had available to me were rosters of all of our MIS classes right now. Well, if I counted all the MIS students, that would be stupid, right? Well, because I would count each of you multiple times. And I would tell my boss, 15,000. And he'd be like, I don't think so. What I want to do is count you individually. I want I want to count distinct numbers. Or maybe if you say, give me a list of our top 10 students, he wouldn't want their names repeated over and over. All distinct does is gets rid of absolute similar rows in the presentation. That's all it does. It just takes any rows that are completely the same, where the output is completely the same, and gets rid of the duplicates. So we like to sync a lot. You can hardly go wrong using the sync. And you can. We can say this and that, or this or that. And is a superior function to or. Do y'all remember PEMDAS? Permutations, exponentials, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, right? Not me. So I put parentheses around everything. And I'm going to show you that even though and does take precedence, be like Jim and just throw parentheses around things and stop caring about it. Null is null. Null does not get single quotes around it because it's a thing. I can say select student name, student class from my students where student class is null. It's not student class equal null. It's is null, is not null. It means that there is no value there of any kind. It's not null. Okay. I can say, select all the things from enrollment where grade is in a set of values. And this is super powerful because this whole relational database thing is based on sets. This is the same as saying where grade equals A or grade equals B. Listen to what I said. You cannot say where grade equals B or A. Each part has to be a statement that can be evaluated where grade equals A or grade equals B, not grade equals A or B. This is not